This morning, two very violent, serious attacks occurred in our city, resulting in the death of one innocent person and significant life-altering injuries to another. This marks our city's 9th homicide of 2024. Attacks like these shake our collective sense of comfort and safety, and I am grateful that a suspect was quickly taken into custody by our VPD officers. Although it will take time before we have all the answers, I can tell you that it does not appear that either victim knew the suspect, and we believe these attacks were completely random stranger attacks. These investigations are in their earliest stages, and there are still many details we either don't know or I am unable to share with you at this time. However, I am here today, joined by Mayor Ken Sim, to share what we can and to answer questions about these tragic crimes. I'm also joined by Deputy Chief Howard Chow, who commands our Operations Division, and Deputy Chief Fiona Wilson, who commands our Investigation Division. I want to recognize Councillors Peter Meisner and Mike Clausen, who are also here with us today. VPD officers responded at 7:38 a.m. to reports of a man who had been attacked near Cathedral Square, which is at Richard Street and Dunsmuir. Officers found a 56-year-old man who had been attacked with a knife. He was bleeding from the head and had suffered a completely severed hand. The man was taken to hospital for emergency treatment and is expected to survive. Approximately 8 minutes later at 7:46 a.m., VPD officers were called to West Georgia and Hamilton Street, which is a couple of blocks away from the first call, after a second man was attacked. Despite efforts to save his life, the man died at the scene. The victim's identity and age have not been confirmed, but he appears to be approximately 70 years old. Investigators and members of the VPD Victim Services Unit are currently in the process of confirming this man's identity and informing family members next of kin of his passing. I want to offer my heartfelt condolences to the victim who survived and the families and loved ones of both of these victims of these serious crimes that occurred today here in Vancouver. While investigators from VPD's Major Crime, Homicide Unit, and Forensic Identification Unit begin collecting evidence from the two crime scenes, VPD patrol officers obtained images of the suspect, confirmed that the two incidents were linked, and began searching for the suspect. Shortly after 9 a.m., officers located the suspect on Habitat Island near the Olympic Village. That's that small island at the north foot of Columbia Street, adjacent to Hinge Park. They responded to reports of a man behaving erratically who had approached a stranger who was our reportee and began yelling at him. The suspect, who we subsequently arrested, is a 34-year-old White Rock resident. He was taken into custody by members of our emergency response team and patrol officers with assistance from a VPD drone pilot. The suspect is currently at the Vancouver Police Jail. I applaud the witnesses who called police immediately and provided timely information to us. I am extremely proud of the brave VPD officers who responded very fast to tend to the victims, to gather evidence, to search for and ultimately arrest the suspect and stop this imminent public safety threat. More than 90 officers were involved in this investigation so far today, and dozens of police officers and civilian professionals will continue in this investigation in the coming days and weeks. Officers from our patrol, community safety officers, emergency response team, K9, multiple drones from VPD, our operational command center, our duty officer, homicide detectives, robbery assault detectives, forensic specialists, victim services unit, and other specialized VPD units all pulled together and are currently working on this case. Homicide investigators from our major crime section will be preparing a report to Crown Counsel and recommending serious criminal charges against the suspect. Because he has not been charged yet, I'm unable to tell you his name at this point in time. What I can tell you is that this appears to be a very troubled man who has a lengthy history of mental health related incidents, which have resulted in more than 60 documented contacts with police throughout Metro Vancouver. He has a prior conviction for assault causing bodily harm, and at the time of his arrest, he was on probation out of White Rock for an assault that occurred in 2023. We have not yet confirmed whether there is a motive for today's attacks or what that motive is, and and we are investigating the possibility that mental health was a contributing factor. I know that many people in our city and beyond are troubled by what has happened today. Crimes like these, seemingly random and unprovoked, cause everyone to fear for their safety and the safety of their loved ones, and rightfully so. Let me assure you that incidents like these, while high profile, are deeply disturbing. They are rare. We have seen other cases, though, in Vancouver, where people have come into Vancouver from the suburbs, from other cities in the surrounding area, and committed acts of extreme violence in our city. We do live in a safe city, and I just want to mention that the great support we have had from Mayor Ken Sim and his City Council, we have taken significant steps to make it safer. And I just want to give some context on that, because I'm sure this will come up in the Q&A, but I just want to give some context on it preemptively. We've hired more than 175 new police officers since October of 2022, allowing us to increase visible police presence in problem neighborhoods and bolster our investigative capabilities. We've instituted metro teams, which are rapid response teams able to respond anywhere in the city between districts much more quickly. We've put targeted resources on high-risk offenders, repeat violent offenders, chronic offenders, using resources from patrol, major crime, our chronic offender unit, and other specialized units, and have had some very significant success with that through projects such as Agility and Reclaim, and also engaging the BIAs and different community policing initiatives, as well as our significant mental health partnerships that we have with Vancouver Coastal Health, which have all been bolstered over the past year and a half. Total crime in Vancouver is down 7.4%. Violent crime in Vancouver is down 7%. Property crime in Vancouver is down 10.3%. Unprovoked stranger assaults are almost half what they used to be. Serious assaults, being assaults causing bodily harm, assaults with a weapon, aggravated assaults, are down 17.8%. So just to give you some context on where we stand with the most recent crime numbers.